The subconscious mind is like a little child. That's why we call it the inner child. Inner child work is nothing but healing your subconscious mind.
When our belief system gets formed at such a young age, which is 7 8 years, how do you go back and rewire what was not set in the proper way?
This is not only theory. This is not only philosophy. This is physics, if you understand. You may attract a success that you were looking for. You had it. You attracted a dream. You attracted a goal. Still no happiness. These are signs that inner child needs to be worked on.
People feel that the people who have experienced a huge trauma or some sort of severe abuse in their childhood, only they need to heal their inner child.
Does everybody require inner child work? Yes, a big yes. Everybody requires it. My suggestion would be from today, take letting go very seriously.
So you're kind of parenting your own inner child. You've become a parent to your inner child.
Correct. For every 10 or 11 thoughts at the conscious level, there are 10 to 12 millions and millions of thoughts running in the subconscious mind. Chances are, if I want to manifest something in my life, I want to bring something new, there's an inner voice which tells me, hey, you're not worthy anyways. Nobody loved you anyways. I don't think you're capable. I don't think you should be doing this. I attract the wrong people in my life. I make the wrong choices. I take the wrong decisions. All of that happened because of my perception of myself was wrong. If you continue to look at the person the way he is, he's going to remain like that.
How do you kind of recognize the need for you to take responsibility instead of just shrugging it on the other people?
If you start seeing the person the way he could be, he will suddenly start becoming more of what he should be.
Welcome to the Journey Within podcast with me, Shobha Rana. In this podcast, we navigate through the personal growth journeys of our guests, through the experiences that they have to share, the life that they have lived, the insights and the wisdom that they have accumulated. We try to understand a deeper meaning of our own life. Through this podcast, my help is to aim you find that window or that door of self-discovery where you can find a deeper meaning to your life. You can cause breakthroughs and meaningful transformation and live the life of your dreams. In today's episode, we have discussed about childhood trauma, identifying our inner child, healing the inner child. In this whole process, where does forgiveness as a therapy find its place? How can we cause major transformation and breakthroughs for ourselves by meeting our inner child and parenting our inner child? All of this conversation is going to help you understand your patterns, behavioral patterns, those are not helping you or are working against you or are working against your manifestation. We have also talked about law of attraction and law of manifestation and how you can make the process more effective for yourself. Today, I have with me Dr. Karishma Ahuja, who is a metaphysics teacher and a manifestation coach. She also talks about forgiveness therapy and inner child healing. She has written a couple of books, Healing Power of Words and Healing Power of Gratitude. Let's meet Dr. Karishma Ahuja on the Journey Within podcast. Hi, Dr. Karishma.
Hi, Shobha.
I'm so happy to meet you. Your energy is so calming. The things that you do professionally, the way you're helping out people, making them see the issues in their lives and cause breakthroughs for them is so empowering. And I really wish that through this episode, we are able to give some actionable insights to the viewers and they can cause transformation and breakthroughs in their own lives. You do a lot of work in the space of inner child healing, forgiveness therapy, manifestation, and a lot of other very important life topics. And I'm going to unpack them one by one with you in this conversation today. But where I want to start with is inner child.
Yeah.
Please help me understand the concept of inner child. How does one identify their inner child, and why is it also important to know your inner child?
I think the most important thing to understand is that inner child work is extremely important if you want to manifest or bring anything in your life. So, a lot of us, want to experience good things. We have dreams and goals to accomplish. It's very important to know this that there is an inner voice within us that is either going to help us go towards our dreams or it's going to take us away from that path that can take us to our desire and our goal. So, what is the inner child? The subconscious mind is like a little child. That's why we call it the inner child. Why? Because all through your years, it's been storing all the information. Everything that you have experienced gets downloaded inside the subconscious mind. Now, studies on the mind tell us that on an average, every second, you may be aware of 10 or 11 thoughts. But for every 10 or 11 thoughts at the conscious level, there are 10 to 12 millions and millions of thoughts running in the subconscious mind. Now,
Wow.
can you imagine with so many thoughts running in the subconscious mind, if you're trying to bring anything into your life, whatever is more dominant inside you naturally takes over your vibration and will pull you towards that particular direction. So, if for example, we've not had a very good childhood, maybe we've felt lonely most of the times, chances are if I want to manifest something in my life, I want to bring something new, there's an inner voice which tells me, hey, you're not worthy anyways. Nobody loved you anyways. I don't think you're capable. I don't think you should be doing this. Now, because that inner voice is so strong, because it could be a maximum of these memories revolving around this particular issue, that I'm being dragged down now. And instead of going towards my dreams and the path towards my goals, I'm telling myself I'm good for nothing. What do? I attract the wrong people in my life. I make the wrong choices. I take the wrong decisions. All of that happened because of my perception of myself was wrong. So, what does the inner child really do? It basically determines your perception of yourself, your self esteem, your self worthiness, all the choices you make, the decisions you take, even your life purpose. You may think that this is my purpose, but in reality, it may just be a memory running inside your subconscious mind which is taking you astray. Maybe you have a different purpose altogether. So, for us to be able to lead a life of fulfillment means I am not only going after goals, I'm going after the right goals,
Hmm.
things that actually make me feel whole and complete from inside. That is only going to be possible when I understand what that inner voice is, if I understand what my inner deeper needs are. So, the subconscious mind can actually become my partner in success. It can actually raise my level of intuition. I can start leading a life of inspiration if I start connecting with this inner voice, if I understand the pain it may be having inside, the suffering it experiences, the problems that it's continuing to replay in my life. All of that put together, inner child work is nothing but healing your subconscious mind. It is about first connecting with your subconscious mind, then trying to correct it. Why correct? Because the subconscious mind doesn't know how to remove, it's only taking in information. And now it's only giving you based out of what it has already put inside.
These are deeper studies of, understanding your deep conscious, understanding what your inherent deeper level needs and desires are. Sometimes our desires are also on a very superficial and on a very periphery level. It is not resonating with our core. So how do we identify those desires, and how does inner child work help us to go to that domain of our subconscious mind?
First of all, when you are working on your inner child, you're connected with your core self because it's a very significant part of your consciousness, right? You cannot go to a higher level of vibration or consciousness if the conscious mind and the subconscious mind are busy playing a match and game with each other. That means you are angry, you're upset, there's an experience it brings in your life. Again, that experience causes a reaction. Again, you find yourself doing the same things over and over again. So, what we want is we want to bring harmony between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. For that to take place, it's very important to spend time in silence with yourself. Put everything else aside. No reading. Silent sitting time is not involving any reading, even listening to music. I would not do that. I would just be with myself, maybe focus on my own breath, try to just ease my body, relax my body, and then observe. What is it that's going on inside me? How's the body reacting to maybe a particular person's thought coming in my mind? Maybe it's a childhood thought. Maybe it's something that happened few days back, which you thought was insignificant. But you see, it's causing a reaction in your body. So, first of all, it's starting off with observing your own self, identifying emotions that you experience most of the times. The journey has to start from there. And every day, if you want to stay connected to what your purpose is, what the right goals are, you should be taking a pen and a notebook, writing down every day what it is that really makes you happy. What is it that really makes you fulfilled every single day? I started this out in my own journey as well. I didn't know that this is the path I need to take, but I would, take a pen and paper, and every day I would write down what makes me happy. Now, what you will realize is, first few days, you may not find any inner voice. It'll just be very mechanical. Maybe you will
Yeah.
have a lot of logical answers coming.
I also want to talk about this common misconception that people have. You know, people feel that the people who have experienced a huge trauma or some sort of severe abuse in their childhood, only they need to heal their inner child. Rest of the other people are fine. So, how does one recognize that? A, if it is a need for everybody, what do you think? What are your thoughts there? And if yes, then how do they kind of recognize it for themselves?
If you're unhappy with your life, no matter what you have, you may attract a success that you were looking for. You had it, you attracted a dream, you attracted a goal, still no happiness. Sadness inside for no explained reason. You feel you're missing out on something. These are signs that inner child needs to be worked on. So, no matter where you are, at what stage you are in your life, if you feel something is missing, if you don't feel a sense of connect with yourself, if you're unhappy, no matter how people and how much people do for you, what you've attracted, you still feel a sense of emptiness, loneliness from inside, probably there is something that needs to be released. And that is when inner child work becomes important. So, whether you are experiencing delays in your manifestation, whether you find yourself struggling a lot. Some people feel I have to struggle a lot to get to where I am getting. Other people have it easy. If that is the case, inner child work is required. So, does everybody require inner child work? Yes, because inner child work is about letting go, teaching the inner child to let go of the past. Does everybody require it? Yes, a big yes. Everybody requires it. It's only that some people realize it and consciously work on it. Some people will reach at that stage where they will have to work on it. Maybe a health challenge and now they have to work on it. Right? So, my suggestion would be from today, take letting go very seriously. And if you want to start practicing inner child work for letting go, very simple. Spend some time with yourself in silence and try to relax your mind and body. First of all, direct love to your own self. And then, as you direct love to yourself, direct it to anybody who bothers you. Maybe even the past, maybe an incident that bothered you that you've not been able to forget. Direct love there also. How do we do that? Just imagine you have a ball of golden light around you. Imagine this ball of love is coming towards you. And now you're directing this ball also towards other people who bother you. A simple exercise like that can help you get started with inner child work without actually learning to go deeply. Of course, if you want to do inner child work deeply, you should have taken somebody's help and help them, allow them to help you go deeper into that process. If that is also not something you're ready for, even today, go in front of the mirror, see how you're feeling, notice a negative emotion, and tell yourself, no, no, that's not what I deserve. What I deserve is more love, happiness, and joy. Start writing your negative thoughts on paper. If these negative thoughts on paper are bothering you too much, once you write them down, immediately cancel them and put a reverse thought to it. And then visualize yourself like a little child, like a little boy or little girl, and tell this little boy or little girl, we deserve so much love. I love you. I love you a lot. I need you in my life. I trust you. So, whatever you missed in your childhood, you can say this to your own inner child today.
So you're kind of parenting your own inner child. You've become a parent to your inner child.
Correct, correct. And it's a very healing process. As soon as people start doing inner child work, they feel like a lot of burden being lifted. Why? Because everybody at the core requires love. As you direct love towards yourself, even to people who bother you, you begin to feel a sense of ease, a sense of peace, and a sense of well being. You just feel everything is okay.
Yeah. When you were saying, when you were telling the signs of recognizing it for ourselves, I was also thinking of being ungrateful. You know, when we are ungrateful, let's say for the job we have, for the partner we have, and people say that I would kill for that job, and there are people like that, right?
Yeah.
So when we feel ungrateful for our own, let's say possessions or what we have in life, that is also, I think, one of the signs that you're disconnected from your deeper within. That's why what is could bring joy to thousands of people out there is not bringing joy to you. So maybe it's time for realigning your goal, talking with your inner self more. And I think that's when people shift their careers and all of those things. Like you have also done MBA finance, and
Yes.
you're a marketing professional and all of that.
Yes.
But then you completely switched to
Yeah.
this work and you restarted not just this work, but you restarted your studies, right? From
Yeah.
the bachelor's, you were already a master's degree holder, and after a few years, you started your studies again,
Yeah.
like we were interacting before. So
Yeah.
why people do that? Why people make that shift in their life, even if they are gaining success in their
Yeah.
career, like you were a finance professional,
Yeah.
an MBA and all of that, but understanding that how I started, what I started, maybe it's not sitting with the energy that I have today, or it's not making me as happy as I want to be. So what is it? And finding what is it, like you found, it's not an easy process, right? To do a bachelor's degree again, to do a master's again, to do a doctorate again, and all of that. It's not easy process. The process is going to be daunting, but what you want at the end of that process, or what you feel you can contribute, is so big and impactful that putting in the work is kind of joyful.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you're peaceful doing that. So I think from your journey, while we were talking, and why I'm sharing this with our viewers, is that I want to take a very practical example of not being, let's say, completely happy or satisfied with the life that you have built for yourself. You can even then pull the plug out and then plug in somewhere where you feel that
Yeah.
I
It's
resonate better
never too
with.
late, never
Yeah.
too early, never too late.
Yeah, it could be more difficult when you do it later, or easier, whatever, depending on your experiences. Certain things do get difficult. Like if at the age of 40, I want to start studying, at the age of 50, I want to do a course, maybe it will be a little more difficult for me. Maybe my retention power, my focus, my concentration, my responsibilities, and all of that is way more right now, and all of that. However, is it going to be worth it?
Seek guidance. Sometimes people are not sure, they're confused. Is this the right thing for me to do? I would always tell them seek guidance from the God, seek guidance from the universe, seek guidance from divinity, whatever form you believe in, right? That you connect with. Seek guidance from that form, that source energy on a daily basis.
When you talk about guidance, the divine guidance, that is one thing. But when we are working on our inner child, we are going through a cathartic process of revisiting our traumas, revisiting what has hurt us so deeply that it's still sitting within us. That process can also be a very emotionally turbulent process that can take you on a downward spiral of emotions as well. That can fill you with a lot of guilt and seeing yourself as either a victim, if you were a victim, or maybe you were an attacker. Maybe you did something bad to somebody else and that
Yeah,
is
and
now
you're
sitting with
guilty,
you.
you're guilty.
You're guilty of that, right?
Yeah.
So this downward spiral of emotions can put you in a negative zone. So I think some sort of guidance in terms of a coach or somebody who can guide you through the process
It's
is
very
also
important.
important. So I want to
Yes.
take your inputs there because you're a coach and you help people with that. क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, when the lessons are about our own personal growth, we want to take complete charge in our hands, and which is okay. But do people really have the mental bandwidth and the emotional resilience to revisit their trauma and heal for real, not just on a superficial level? Because we have heard it on 10 podcasts and 10 spiritual gurus are saying that forgive, let go, and all of that. So I am letting go. But as soon as something triggers me, I go back to being the same person again. So, how does a guide or a coach help there?
I think it depends from individual to individual. A coach or a therapist should be able to guide you on techniques that work best for you. They will understand your energy, they will understand your past. Also, when you work with a coach or a therapist in particular, they are able to somewhat control your energy. They are able to kind of align themselves with your goals and your desires and keep you at an emotional level where you are obviously going to your past, but you're not so emotional about your past that you're not able to actually work on it. So, because a coach brings in their own energy, you see, when you talk to someone, sometimes when you share something, you feel good. Other times, people will add to your misery. So, when you go to a coach or a therapist in particular, they will ensure that when you're working with them, you're comfortable enough to share your past. You're able to be honest enough to share whatever you have to share. At the same time, when I say they control your energy, it really means that they'll give you things to do. They will make you say things. They will help you kind of open up in a manner, in an environment where you feel safe. Also, you don't feel judged. Every technique is not for everyone when it comes to working on the past. That is why taking guidance from a therapist is very important so that you don't feel so emotionally drawn into your past that you're not able to actually work on it at all.
Yeah, because it can be a very confrontational process also. You're confronting yourself for the mistakes that you made. You're confronting yourself for the wrong that you have done or the wrong that has happened with you.
At any given point in time, if you feel very guilty, if you feel what you've done is so big that you don't deserve to be alive, that's not the right work. Any technique should not make you feel like that. Also, no technique should make you feel others are responsible. You have to work on yourself without feeling it is your fault, but you have to take responsibility. So, for that balance to come, you should go to the right therapist. Otherwise, there are simple techniques like I shared, the mirror work, writing the negative thoughts, converting into positive statements, talking to your inner child that this is what we deserve. These things are safe for anyone to do. Everybody should do them. But if you are trying to open up and go to your past, don't be reckless enough to take anything which may trigger you in the wrong way. Then you go to a therapist. If you feel you have some real traumas you have to work on, then taking guidance will always help you.
Yeah, I think that is where I was coming from when I talked about guidance, because, like I said, it can put you on a downward spiral. Because 3 years ago, I was, coaching somebody, and that person was completely on a downward spiral of kind of ending their life. And that's a very scary position and place to arrive at and to go to somebody for help. And honestly speaking, even I was scared, that the kind of negative zone that the person has gone into, because he has done reflection so much, so deep within, that now it's all twisted in a manner that it's making you feel so guilty that you are not deserving of the life. So I think that is where, when you have these thoughts, and this could be about anything, this could be about not excelling in an exam, this could be about getting fired from a job, this could be about a breakup, this could be about any area of your life. If those are the feelings, I think one thing that I would encourage my viewers to take from you and this episode is that everybody deserves to be happy. Everybody, whether you have done a big crime or a mistake or whatever, there is a, what is the word, repentance, or coming back from that is possible.
For me, I've always believed there is a law greater than the law of karma.
Mm.
It is a law of forgiveness because forgiveness brings grace. If you have God's grace in your life that comes with true repentance, there's nothing that cannot be corrected. Mukum karoti vachalam, even the dumb can speak fluently. Pangam langayete girim, even the lame can cross a high mountain. Yat kripa tamam vande parmananda madhavam. With God's grace, even the impossible can become possible. So, no matter what has happened in your life, you deserve, because you're still breathing, you deserve to live, to experience a very different world than what you've experienced. Don't give up on yourself. If you have true repentance, it is enough. Try to see how you can correct what you have done. Try to see how you can do a lot of good work. If somebody comes to me and says, Doctor, I've done horrible things in my life, I tell them, no problem. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Do so much good now, so much good that you feel this is the best life you've lived.
While you were saying, so I was just thinking of the judgment that we place on people when they are transforming. When you have known somebody in a certain way for few years and then you see them transforming, you say, "Arey, ye to ढोंग कर रहा है." सौ चूहे खा के बिल्ली हज को चली. You have seen somebody being a very shrewd businessman and now they're into charity overtly. Then you say, "Oh, ho, okay, this is all dhong and tamasha and all of that." You don't know what journey people are on, and it's not even important for you to understand their journey or get into the mechanics of their journey. Let them be on their journey. You work on your journey. So just go within, be with yourself. I think that is one message that this episode should give to people, and they all deserve happiness and love. From inner child work to manifestation, I want to bring the conversation now. Like you said, that inner child is very much correlated to the manifestations that we make, because manifestation is an exercise happening on the energy level. You are sending out to the universe what you want to attract in your life, like something like that, manifestation and law of attraction, right? And when your inner child is not healed, then obviously this is going to be affected. We've already talked about that. Now, how do we kind of get to the right style of manifesting? What are the right things that we should be saying? What should be our words, our speech, actions, and thoughts while manifesting?
Act like you already have what you want. This means that start thinking like the person you want to become. That's how you align your energy with what you want. This can be done very practically. Every day, write down what you want. but use the same statement. Why? Because repetition works like magic for the subconscious mind. You can't have a new statement every day. If you're saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that I've married the love of my life, then use this statement every day. Use it in the present tense, because the subconscious mind will not engage with this statement if you don't use positive words and if you don't repeat the same words every day. Why? Because it doesn't feel it's important enough for you if you use different words every day. So, for it to engage with this statement, connect with it, do something to spend time with this statement every day. Write it down, say it aloud. That's one way. The second thing is, make sure in the day you're taking some action for your goal, because this keeps the goal on top of your mind. Whether it's making a phone call to someone, whether it's maybe writing an email out, whether it's reading a book, something has to be done on a daily basis for you to get closer to your goal. Some action has to be taken on every day. Attraction also has the word action in it. So if you take action, action really pushes the subconscious mind to start working for you. Start taking that action. Three, mind your energy and your vibration. Whatever is not making you feel good, first work on releasing it. Whatever is bothering you, bless it. And then immediately remind yourself, that's not what I want. I don't want that anger. What I want is feeling peaceful. As you do that, your vibration starts to improve. As your vibration starts to improve, every time you think a good thought about your goal, your brain cells are activated. As these brain cells get triggered, they send off electromagnetic waves. Now you're sending out energy. Now, the best part is, if you're focusing on your goal, you're controlling the vibration you are in. Why? Because as you focus on one thought over and over again, every day, same thought, morning you wake up, night you sleep with that thought, you are starting to alter the rate of vibration. So,
Yeah.
although you're releasing energy, you're also giving it a direction now. That means you are increasing the momentum of that energy. So, let's say this is my hand right now, it's still, right? But I do understand that this is not still. In reality, this is continuing to move. If I would have an appropriate microscope, I would see that this hand is moving. When I'm thinking a certain thought, I am increasing the amplitude of the rate of that vibration. So now what is happening? Now you're putting out a good thought with more force. That's how you shorten your manifestation time. So manifestation has to be a combination of these techniques. It starts with first identifying what you want, focusing on it on a daily basis by using a very strong goal statement. Third, making sure that you keep yourself connected to how you are feeling. If you're not feeling good, catch yourself not feeling good. Immediately remind yourself how you want to feel. And of course, you can do several other things to raise your vibration. But the most important thing that you need to do is not allow yourself to feel low. The moment you catch yourself not feeling good, understand, I'm not doing anything to get to my goal. In fact, I'm wasting my energy and my time. We don't want to do that.
So, what is a very strong, clear manifestation goal statement?
I would always begin the statement with words like happy, grateful, blessed, lucky, fortunate. Why? If I say I'm so happy and grateful now that I've attracted my dream job, the subconscious mind starts getting attracted itself with the statement when I say I'm so happy and grateful. Why? It checks. Is she happy? Is she grateful? If it doesn't find it in my current vibration, guess what it does? It will try to match my reality with this vibration. Why? Because for the subconscious mind, if you keep repeating something, it takes that for the truth. So if it doesn't find gratitude and happiness in my vibration, it will start to think, happy and grateful for the dream job. Let's get her the dream job because she has to be happy and grateful. And this dream job is going to make her happy and grateful. So it matches your reality with the emotion that you're emphasizing on a daily basis. I would always start the statement with, I am so happy, grateful, I'm so blessed, I'm so lucky, I'm so fortunate, I'm so excited, because these words will actually push the subconscious mind into action.
So, inherently, our minds, because we have evolved as beings who have operated on survival
Yes.
mode so much
Yes.
that negative thinking is our inherent automatic autopilot behavior.
Yes.
But positive thinking needs to be reinforced with
Mhm.
the words like I'm grateful, I'm happy, I'm positive, and all of
Actually,
that.
it's easier. I always feel that positivity is what we are in alignment with always. It's easy. When you start using positive words, it's like a chain, it's an energy cycle. It starts to work in your favor. It's just that you have to be persistent. Why? Because you've been used to maybe thinking negative for so many years.
Correct.
Effort is required, discipline is required. But then you have to be disciplined when you do your pujas. You have to be disciplined with your devotion as well. In the same manner, you have to be disciplined with your goals. You have to spend time with them on a daily basis.
Right. Like you said, positivity is something which is in alignment with ourselves. That is something that makes us happy, and that is something that makes us feel our best selves, not the negativity. So if we are living with the negativity, then I think it's a great window for us to reflect that why are we living with it when it is not even in alignment with our being. So instead of becoming something, you are saying that just be.
Just be.
Yeah.
Just be and start thinking like the person you will become when you have your goal. How is that person going to think? If a person wants more money, how is a person with more money going to think? Maybe he is going to share his money. Start sharing little bit. You have 10 rupees, you share 1 rupee. But start exhibiting that behavior that you will have when you have more money.
Yeah, we all are in a race of becoming something everyday basis in all areas of our life, not just our career and passions, but all areas. We want to become a perfect mother, become a perfect wife, or a husband, or become this and become that. I think instead of that, if we could just be, the world will become much better a place. That's such a beautiful, beautiful
And
takeaway.
an easier place.
Easier place, right, right. Now that we're talking about this topic of manifestation and causing our dream life for us, I also want to understand that what is a clear distinction between a real manifestation goal and wishful thinking. You know, because we have so many thoughts coming to our mind all the time, we have so many desires, endless. So, how do we discover for ourselves that this is just, wishful thinking, random, empty, meaningless desire versus a real meaningful manifestation?
First of all, passion. If you're really passionate about an idea that you get in your mind, if you continue to think about it, then from a fantasy, a mere fantasy, a crazy idea, it gets converted into a theory. That's how we had, for example, the airplane, we've had the computer, the internet. These were just fantasies. They got converted into theories because people said, hey, what if this can actually happen? So they started to work towards it. So the moment you start having an idea and you start focusing on at that idea as if this can become a reality, what could I do to make this a reality? That moment itself, it comes out of visual thinking. Visual thinking will only be you just thinking, oh, it would be so wonderful to have this. But the moment you say, hey, I really want this in my life, imagine how my life is going to change with this. Can I do something for this? That very moment, your fantasy gets converted into a theory. Now that you actually start executing some things, taking action towards them, and every day, you tell yourself, not this way, maybe I'll try another way. When you start doing that, it gets converted from a theory into a reality. So that is when vibrations matter. So once you start taking action, what vibration are you putting out? That is very important because you don't get what you want always, but you do get what you vibrate. So once you've identified what you want and you start keeping yourself in the right vibration while you're taking action for it, while you're on your way towards it, that is what helps you convert your fantasy into a reality. That's when you've come out of visual thinking and now actually on your way to manifesting that very thing in your life.
That gives a lot of clarity between our manifestation and the wishful thinking. The next question that I have for you is that what are the three clear cut ways that you can manifest your dream life?
Firstly, make sure that you're very clear about what you want. If you aren't clear, sit down with yourself every day for the next 30 days. What do I really, really, really want? What is it that really makes me happy? Initially, you may not get the right ideas, but whatever comes, write down. Maybe in a few days, you will get clarity. Something that you feel is in alignment with who you are, that is the goal you should go after. It really makes you happy. It brings a smile on your face. And you will feel that life will be much better if I have it. So that clarity is very important if you want to maybe not just speak of good things, but actually live it. So that is the difference. One, very simple, go after what you want, but first be clear about what you want. Second, spend at least couple of minutes every day to be grateful for what you already have. Because if you don't have gratitude in the moment that you currently are in, chances are that you will come from a negative space.
Yeah, you'll
You
come
will
from a
come from
place of
complain.
lack.
Yes, then you will attract more lack. Even though you want something, you will attract something else. So if you want to make sure that you are on the right track, practice gratitude for whatever it is that you have in your life. Every day, at least couple of minutes. Write down what you're grateful for. But always write down why you're grateful for it. Don't make it mechanical. I'm grateful for this because. Use the word because and see how it starts transforming your life, how it raises your vibration. Three, forgive. I would say Spend few minutes every day thinking of people who bother you and send them love. Maybe yourself. If you're guilty about something, you need to forgive yourself. Every day think of yourself and say, I love myself, I bless myself, I send love to this person. See how the negative people get out of your life and see how you make space for better things in your life. I would also add one more because I feel that is something that is going to help people to make sure that their day not just goes well, but they're also in a state of ease. And that is seeking guidance. Be with yourself, spend some time in silence, ask the universe or the divine for guidance on how to achieve your goals. Because you may get very anxious when you're on your way to achieving your goals. You may be doubting yourself and your capabilities. But if you ask guidance, let me know what I can do. Let me know how I can get here faster. Answers will come. Ask the question, particularly at night and sleep, and you'll be surprised that answers can come in any form, but they will come. And they will really guide you towards your goal faster. You'll shorten your manifestation time and you'll also enjoy your journey. You won't be struggling, you will be a joyful manifestator. That's what we want.
Like when someone asks you, what do you want to eat? You're in a restaurant, you're like, yeah, I want to eat this. I can also eat that. Kuch bhi manga lo. You know, that kind of a voice coming from your within where you don't even know what you want. You're sitting in a restaurant, you came with a purpose that you want to eat a meal. And yet, when you're asked that question, you just don't know. There's so much confusion and so much okayness with everything is in your mind. So, yeah, I totally get that because when I started my own journey, that's why the podcast is called The Journey Within. Yeah, understanding our own deeper inner self. I also went through a lot of confusion where the inner voice was just so confused, where I felt like I like colder temperature also, but I like hot temperatures as well. I like beaches also, I like mountains as well. You know, going to the both, these are very, shallow examples. But what I'm saying is that not able to differentiate between two things. Like I like red also, but I like pink as well. I like blue also, I like black as well. So you're just confused that what is it that you really like? So how does one identify that?
Very important question. So, what you need to do is be persistent, first of all, with the question every day. Now, when you start being persistent with the question, your subconscious mind begins to take this question seriously. That's the first thing that happens. Secondly, just like every relationship, okay, when you spend time with each other, you begin to understand each other. You begin to communicate better with each other. That's why we say in relationships, time is very important. That's what we are trying to do with the subconscious mind. Every day, if you ask the question, you begin to receive answers. Why? Because it begins to understand you better. It begins to get into a closer, deeper connect with you. Now, the second thing that happens is obviously a lot of wrong answers may come, a lot of confusing answers may come. But as you write the answers down, there is a mechanism inside the brain that filters out the unnecessary stuff. Why? Because keep in mind what your ultimate goal is: being fulfilled, being happy, having the freedom that I want in my life, enjoying what I'm doing. If you keep these goals in mind and then ask the question, what is it that is going to take me towards these things, which is fulfillment, freedom, happiness, satisfaction? Automatically, you see the subconscious mind now begins to understand what your needs are. And slowly and steadily, it starts to release those memories which are blocking your purpose from coming through in your life.
So I want to now talk about opposing goals as well. Sometimes, what we want and what we are saying what we want are two completely different things at the heart and mind level and at the verbal and world and the social level. Let's say my worldly goal and what I'm saying I want is to build a successful business. But my deep inherent desire is that I like to sit in solitude quite a lot. I am not drawn to certain ambitions with that much rigor internally. Then my goal in the world versus my goal deep within myself is different. Let's say my worldly goal or the goal that I'm saying on the outside is I want to find a partner,
Yeah.
but deep within, I am not accepting of other people, or I like my own company so much, or I am doing something else in my life where I don't have a room for a relationship. So my inherent goal is different from my worldly goal. So how do these opposite goals work at the same time? And if there is a friction within your goals, then there is a lot of stress that you go through. So how does one deal with that?
I think, firstly, if you're clear that you really want something, then your limiting beliefs can be worked on. Now, the point is if there is confusion, first of all, if you find delays in your manifestation, if you constantly find yourself struggling too much towards your goal, then chances are it could be that you have a conflicting or an opposing idea, thought, or goal as well. So, firstly, you have to find that out. Why is your manifestation getting delayed? If you're focusing on your goal also, then manifestation should not get delayed. Let's say somebody comes and says, I want to buy a dream home or a dream house, right? And financially, they are not where they should be. They are working on that aspect. They want to manifest a lot of money. But chances are that they have a belief that too much money is not good for me, right? There could be some conflicting ideas. Now, how will this person know, first of all, there's a conflicting idea? No matter how much this person tries, they work with different people, they get good opportunities, they're not able to make the most of it, and money comes and goes away. So then we can sit down and work with this person. The solution ultimately lies in, first of all, understanding if there is anything that needs to be released, which you know is not a good thought for you to keep, then you know it's not something in alignment with your higher purpose. For example, money is not good for me. That's not a good thought. Too much attachment to money is not good. So if you're overly attached to anything, it'll always lead you to problems. So you should not have that over attachment. But is money bad by itself? No. A lot of good work can be done with the money that you're making. In fact, money can help you reach out to a lot of people, do a lot of good work as well. So, for such a person, first of all, identification of a limiting belief becomes very important. For that, they should first see, observe, how is my life going? How is my journey going? Am I happy while I'm on my way towards my goals? See, if you're struggling towards your goals, if you're unhappy and you wake up every day in this unhappy mode and then say, I have big dreams, but this is not working for me, then it's not going to work for you even in the future because your vibration is not correct. So anything that pulls you down, that needs to be looked at probably as a limiting belief sitting behind it. And slowly, as you identify those beliefs, a lot of your opposing goals will automatically go away. So actually, it's just limiting beliefs. These conflicting ideas and thoughts are coming from confusion. Confusion in the mind is coming from some negative limiting beliefs, probably from your childhood, that are sitting inside you. You can identify these beliefs and then you can challenge the negative ones. Slowly, by challenging the negative ones, you can now create a new positive idea and thought for yourself and help your subconscious mind accept that new idea by giving it repeatedly that same thought every single day of your life.
Our belief system gets formed at a very early age. Studies suggest that when you're 7, 8 years old, you start building your coping mechanism, defense mechanism, understanding of situations, nuanced situations, and all of that. So when our belief system gets formed at such a young age, which is 7, 8 years, how do you go back and rewire what was not set in the proper way?
Now, you do understand that the childhood may not have been in sync or in alignment with these very ideas and feelings you want today. What do? We don't need to go back. We just need to understand how to now communicate these ideas to our subconscious mind. So, I'll give you a simple technique. Go in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes, see what thoughts come up. Maybe you don't like yourself. Maybe you don't like the way you look. Maybe you're not comfortable with your body. Now, think about how these very thoughts came to you. Maybe somebody said something in your childhood. Maybe some relative said, you're looking fat today. And that just started off. It sowed the seed for something which kept on growing bigger and bigger. Maybe then friends teased you. So things started like that. So if you even go in front of a mirror and just observe your own self, look into your own eyes, a lot of these thoughts will come up. Now, with every thought that comes up, you look at yourself, ask yourself, is this a thought that is helping me feel good about myself? Is it a thought that is helping me move forward in my life? Or it's keeping me stuck to where I am? Now, if it's keeping you stuck to where you are, it needs to go. Now, what do? Tell your subconscious mind, listen, we don't deserve to lead a life like that. We don't deserve to be called such names. That's not who we are. We are capable, we are talented. There's so much we could do. Even if it's about working on my body, I can do it. I should do it for myself, not to make anybody else happy. So, as you start talking in this manner with your subconscious mind, forget subconscious mind as a separate being. Think you're talking to yourself. As you talk to yourself, there is a part of you that begins to actually start accepting the idea. Why? Because, there's a reason why we have 2 ears. As we are also speaking, we have 2 ears, we are also listening.
Hmm.
So, this is very important for you to understand. As you challenge a negative thought and tell yourself, we don't deserve this, then what do we deserve? You let your subconscious mind, let yourself know what you deserve. As you start having this conversation on a daily basis, it can take you 2 to 3 minutes to have this conversation. It doesn't have to be a long, lengthy process. Even 2 to 3 minutes in the morning, let's say you go in front of the mirror, you just observe how you're feeling, then you tell yourself, no, I don't want to feel this way. What I want to feel is, I want to feel loved. I want to feel successful. I want to feel happy. Even if you say these things, automatically the subconscious mind understands, oh, this is what she wants. Oh, this is what he wants.
I want to understand the role of guidance also here. What happens when we are saying these things to ourselves or understanding that these are disempowering thoughts, these thoughts are making me feel negative, so I need to heal myself by telling myself positive reinforcement, right? So when we do the positive reinforcement, one risk there is that you start validating certain negative aspects of you as well. You feel that I deserve to be loved in this space, wherein you might need to improve in that space, not for anybody else, but for your own personal growth, your soul's journey, your own journey in life. So how does one not confuse the two, the areas of your improvement where you really need improvement, and if the negative talk or a negative feedback is coming from within, that can be channelized to bring about a positive change, instead of silencing that feedback and saying that, listen, I need to feel good about myself, so let me validate all that I feel. Because I feel that when we go validating everything that we feel, then where is the room for feedback? Where is the room for self improvement? Where is the room for our growth?
Yeah, I think this is one reason why a lot of people have a problem with self love.
Yeah.
A lot of people say this is nonsense because, how can you improve if you're constantly just loving yourself and you're accepting yourself? I think we need to understand that there's a thin line between the two. You see, when it comes to receiving feedback from yourself, I follow this practice on a daily basis. Before I go to sleep, I always ask myself, was I loving enough? Was I kind enough? Was I polite enough? Was I helpful enough? Just few questions I ask myself. Sometimes the answer comes no. And then I'm like, okay, I think I could have been. I should have been, I could have been. And then automatically, I let my inner child, my subconscious mind know that we should have been behaving in a better manner. We should have been smiling more. We could have offered more help. So, as I start doing this, what happens is I keep myself in a state of balance. I keep myself grounded that, listen, you could have done better in the day. The fact is, we can always do better. I've yet to come across a single day where I've told myself, yes, Karishma, you were too good today. No improvement required. Because the moment I ask myself this question, I realize, you know, sometimes we need to think from the other person's point of view as well. Maybe I could have been more understanding today. And then I tell myself, instead of pulling myself down and feeling guilty about it, I immediately tackle this issue by telling myself, hey, tomorrow we'll do better. Tomorrow we'll be more understanding. Tomorrow we'll offer more help. Tomorrow we'll be kind. Tomorrow we'll be more compassionate. Tomorrow we'll be more proactive. Maybe I've not been proactive enough in the day. Maybe I procrastinated. Maybe there's something I've delayed. There's something I pushed forward which I should have completed today. I also remind myself tomorrow is a new day. I can do that for myself tomorrow. So you kind of keep a balance. When you say acceptance and self love, understand the fact that acceptance is about understanding that whatever you are today, whether from the outside or inside, it's come to you because your life has led up to this point because of your past. So you don't want to therefore feel guilty or pity yourself also. Rather, you want to take charge. So if I want to take 100% responsibility for my life, I can't be blaming my parents for being overprotective.
I was just coming to that part, because when we are in the process of improving ourselves, and when we don't do it at a deeper level, when we are doing it only at an intellectual level, once we get into any challenging situations, let's say we get into a fight with our parents or anybody for that matter, then this whole practice of self love and accepting myself and my reactions and not taking a guilt of it also leads me to think that I am in the right.
Yeah.
You shift the responsibility on somebody else, and it's the easiest thing to do, to say that you triggered me to do this, and that is why I am behaving like this. How do you make that conversation more powerful with yourself, and how do you kind of recognize the need for you to take responsibility instead of just shrugging it on the other people?
Yeah. Remind yourself that if something happened with you in the past, yes, maybe it could have been avoided, but people always did the best that they could. Maybe they were just aware of only so much. Maybe they were not aware of doing anything differently. So, first of all, when you blame, you understand everybody is a product of their subconscious mind, just as we are all products of our subconscious mind. So, when you place blame on someone, understand this just as you sometimes have made mistakes. You have sometimes have realized that you've done things you should not have done. Other people have done the same. They have not been aware enough. So we have to actually only blame lack of awareness, not blame other people. Everybody is only doing what they understand to do from their subconscious mind. The real enemy, therefore, is the subconscious mind. The Bible says, love your enemy. So, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be loving even the negativity and the memories in our subconscious mind. How do we do that practically? Whenever there is a challenge or a problem that is coming up to you and you realize it's a pattern coming from my past, please understand when you say 100% responsibility, you're not saying it is my fault. Oh, okay, they did this to me, but it is my fault. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. That means you can do something to correct your energy, to clean up your energy today. Why and how do we know this can be done? This has to be a reason why you've been given a mind. There has to be a reason why you've been gifted with higher mental faculties like perception, reasoning, memory, imagination. Why have you been gifted these? Obviously, because these are keys to your life. These are keys to making changes and bringing about transformation in your life. If we were only here to suffer because of our past karma, we would just be witnesses, right? God had no limitation. The divinity could have just made us like that. We could have all been coming here, lived our lives, suffered, and gone back. But you've been given a mind. You've been given a perception. You've been given a reason and power. All of that is because you can now make better choices today. So, if something has not worked out for you in your past, look at what you can do in your energy today. That means start with, first of all, blessing even the past, even the negative things that happen to you in your life. Why? Because when you bless something, you take yourself into a higher state of vibration, and the subconscious mind gets a message. Oh, she has enough to bless. Because only when somebody has something do they bless. Anybody blessing you, they feel, oh, I can give you this blessing,
Like
right?
you're not pouring from an empty cup. Your cup
Yes,
is full.
cup is full. And you're also not coming from your ego self. Whenever you bless, you cannot be coming from ego. You crush your ego there and then. Your ego is gone. You're blessing. See, forgiveness and letting go is a journey. It's a lifelong journey because we're dealing with millions and millions of bits of information. So you can't expect yourself to be very good from day one. You can't say, I've been forgiving for 2 days, now I'm done. No, you're never done.
That is in trigger based forgiveness. Sometimes when you have nothing to do with the other person or the particular event, we mask it over with forgiveness, that I have forgiven. But what has happened essentially is that you have not processed it deep within, and you have forgiven only on a very upper level. As long as it is serving you, you are saving face.
Yeah.
People aren't calling out on you that you are a mean person or a bad person. So you're saving face, and you're putting a mask, beautiful mask of forgiveness. But I think, and in my journey, what I have identified is that true forgiveness is when even another trigger comes in the same form, and you're not triggered in the same way as you were before.
Yeah.
You're not reactive in the same way as you were before. If your reaction is the same for the similar kind of a trigger, that means you have neither forgiven nor processed that
Correct,
equation,
correct, correct.
right?
Absolutely. That's a very
Eh,
good way to look at it. In fact, in metaphysics, we always have this statement that says forgiveness is complete when you stop wishing things should have been different until you feel they should not have happened. You're still stuck on to unforgiveness. Some kind of resentment and bitterness is there. So you have to work on that bitterness every day. Simple. Every day after you take a shower, sit with yourself for just 1 minute. Now that your physical cleansing is done, do your emotional cleansing. Just 1 to 2 minutes. Think of 3 or 4 people who bother you, who hurt you, who you feel like placing blame on, and just bless them. Now, if it becomes very difficult, which a lot of my students tell me, Doctor, how can I do this? It's not possible. It's not coming from my heart. It's not going to come from your heart. But you're sending a message to your subconscious mind that I don't want to hold on to this person's energy. I have something to give to this person. Let me give this to that person. So, even a statement as simple as universe or divine, please send love to this person through me. You bless through me.
When we are into very close knit relationships in our homes, when things are not right, and it is only you who is working on your personal growth, your transformation, but the others are just the same. So in that household, how do you kind of cope with that environment? Because somewhere you're becoming an empathetic person, somewhere you know that your deep inner self's calling is this, that it wants to soothe you, it wants you to become this forgiving person, this empathetic person, this understanding person, but your environment is not conducive to that because others are going to be the way they are. So how do you kind of navigate through that environment? uh, it is a challenge for a lot of people, who feel that they are just helpless, even if they want to grow, even if they want to sort things out and heal things for themselves and for others. How do they do that? They feel helpless. So
For that, I'm going to say something which is going to be very hard for us to digest, but if you think about it, it is true. Until you find the negativity in another person, you probably have it inside you. Otherwise, you will not notice it. So, if you come from a higher vibration, if you come from a positive vibration, you will not notice anything wrong with anyone. The fact that you're looking at something that bothers you and it irritates you, it frustrates you, it makes you sad or unhappy, then obviously there is something inside you that is already being triggered and you are not coming from the right vibration. So then what would such a person do? Work on your own vibration. How do you do that? Look at how you start your day. Start your day on a positive note. Start connecting with your own goals and dreams. Focus on the positive aspects of your own life. For such a person, I would suggest practicing gratitude. If you're living with people and getting along is a problem, then understand that your energy at home is going to affect your energy even at work. It's going to ultimately affect every other area of your life. Your finances, your career, your business, everything is going to be affected, including your health. So then what do we do? Make sure that in the morning when you start your day, you give a very clear message to your subconscious mind what you want from the day. Today's day is a very loving day, peaceful day, happy day. Also, use the power of your mind. If you know that a particular person in your house is not giving you the behavior that you want, affirm it. My husband is getting more and more understanding day by day. My children are getting more and more understanding day by day. Mr. X is now accepting more and more of my ideas.
even
Mr.
if
Y,
they are
even
not.
if they are not. Why? Because you only have the power to redirect your own thoughts, your own mind. You can't do it for them. But what happens is, because you're focused on certain aspects of people, that's how they behave with you. How do we know that for sure? You see, scientific aspects of these things are also available today. If you look at the subject called quantum mechanics, there's one particular experiment which was done in the early 1800s. It's called the double slit experiment. That experiment actually proves how law of attraction works. Basically, that experiment proved that when you observe light, okay, you notice that the moment there is a measuring device brought into the picture, light behaves like a particle. But the moment there is no observer, there is no measuring device, light gets exhausted or dissolved into a wave of possibilities. That means before an experience or a person behavior comes into my life, they can be good and bad. There's a possibility of them being good, there's a possibility of them being bad. What I draw from them depends on my perception. That means this universe is nothing without an observer. Because there is an observer, there is a universe. That means the way I look at that person, he's going to continue to stay that way. I have to change my own thinking and thoughts about that person. Very doable. This is not only theory. This is not only philosophy. This is physics, if you understand. And so, look at that experiment and now see in your own life. You will notice if you continue to look at the person the way he is, he's going to remain like that. If you start seeing the person the way he could be, he will suddenly start becoming more of what he should be.
As long as the conversation is only about khana khaya nahi khaya, it's all okay. But when you go deeper, the belief systems and the ideologies about life is completely different. So how do you know when to kind of let go and create a breathing room and a space for yourself? How do you know that practicing forgiveness is going beyond beyond its measure, and you are not deserving of what you've been handed out.
Self love is very important in these cases. If you love yourself enough, first of all, you stop attracting the negative behavior from other people. And this is true. If you start respecting and valuing yourself first, other people will value you. So if you are in relationships where people don't understand you, they pull you down, especially where it becomes, so to say, toxic. Although I don't use that word, but
Yeah.
I've been hearing this word all the time.
Yeah, I know that word has got such a negative connotation to it, and nowadays that the word is becoming so prevalent that anything that is going against what you're liking, you're
You're
calling it
saying
toxic.
toxic, correct, which
This
is
is so
why
wrong.
I don't suggest using that word. But even if you are in such a relationship where you feel nothing's working out for you, understand this, that you definitely are coming from a lack of self love. Otherwise, it would not be happening in your life. So, first, accept that you have a lot of work to do. Now, while you're working on yourself, don't take any major decision on that relationship. This would be my suggestion. First, try to just work a bit on yourself. See how things work out. Don't be in a rush. Don't take decisions very quickly, because later you may regret them. You don't want to take a decision from anger at all. You want to take a decision from peace. If you still are in a point of peace and you feel this is not something that is working out for you, very well, take that decision for yourself. But it should come from peace. If you're continuing to feel anger and resentment and taking a decision, chances are you are not being in the right vibration. That may not be the right decision for you. That means you're still coming from memory, you're not coming from inspiration. And you may regret it later, or you may continue to attract another relationship like that. You may be continue to be unhappy in your life, which we don't want.
I was just talking to a friend and she was telling me, yeah, the X was also like that, then the Y was also like that, and now the Z is also having similar this thing. Then we were having this whole dialogue of why are you attracting such people? What is wrong in your own programming? So how do people understand these nuances and then kind of rewire themselves?
Very simple. Understand this point that everything is energy. So you are obviously putting out some energy for some energy to come inside your body, which is why understanding of the laws of the mind are very important. I would really suggest people every day to spend at least 10-15 minutes reading something about the mind, read something about energy, understand how you are creating your life. If you don't understand this, you will never be able to take 100% responsibility. So, first of all, do some work in this area where you are understanding how you are participating in creating your own experiences. Now, if I would tell this person the world is a reflection, they would obviously not believe it. But then, if you read about it, if you understand how energy is working, in school we learned matter is coming from energy, right? Now you understand today, because of the research done in quantum physics, everything is energy. The sofa, walls
Everything.
around us, we human beings, everything is energy. When scientists tried to study what is inside the body, they found tiny bits of particles called atoms. Inside these atoms are also, subatomic particles and some empty space. When they went inside these subatomic particles, they found nothing but energy vibrating at a certain speed.
Yeah.
That means everything around us is only energy, and we're exchanging energy all the time. So obviously you're putting out something for energy to come inside.
Hmm.
Energy out, energy in, energy out, energy in. So you can't be saying that people around me are negative and I'm not doing anything. You're participating in it. Yes, they may be negative, but you're participating in it. So you have to first understand that aspect. What am I putting out? So first of all, start taking charge of your emotions. Start looking at how you want to feel. Start thinking of how you want to feel. You want more love, you want more respect. Give a little bit more love and respect in the day to someone. You do it. As you do it, your inner child gets a message. Love is what she wants. Respect is what she wants. Now it will bring people in your life who will give you that similar behavior.
I have such a big smile on my face because I am trying to kind of learn all of this from you. And in the process, this wholesome conversation I know will inspire so many people out there. We have talked about trauma and healing and gratitude and forgiveness and in depth about all of these and how it works on a vibrational and energy level, how it works on a mental and mindset level, and how all of these practices are more directed towards your own self than the others. Of course, you make world a better place when you are this person who is healed, who is full of gratitude, who is a certain way. It helps the world, but first and foremost beneficiary of all of that is you. Yeah, I really hope that people, if not for any other reason, for their own personal growth, start working on their own selves and start identifying what bothers them, what triggers them, and where is their window or the door to take their journey within. In the end, I keep one question for the end, and that I ask all of my guests, and that is, amidst all of their experiences, all that you have kind of been through in your life so far, what is your idea and what is your definition of success?
Success for me is fulfillment. At the end of the day, I should be happy about what I'm doing. I should feel a sense of fulfillment. Only when I feel fulfilled will I have the passion to carry on further. And that could be different for everyone, right? You could be motivated in a different way. But ultimately, if you want success in your mind, success at the outer level, and you want both of them to be a perfect match, for me, it's always been fulfillment. From inside, I should be drawn towards what I'm doing. And every day should not be a struggle for me to get to work and to complete my day. That sweetness that fulfillment brings is like Amrit, nectar.
Yeah. When young people listen to conversations like these, then they feel that, oh, these are just pseudo conversations. People just say it because it appears good to say these things, and it's all very theoretical and it's all very guru like talks and all of that. But I would like to tell them that the people, those are there on the podcast, including Karishma, these are the people who have really done it for themselves. They could have had a career elsewhere. They could have probably seen whatever else kind of success in that career. And we all started out like that. I started as an engineer. What I'm doing today has nothing to do with that. And it is not happening because my quest for money has become so much greater or whatever people amount success to. But it is only that you want to do what is in alignment with your own soul. That is something that you're doing, who is an MBA finance graduate and all of that. So I really hope that people don't take it at just as at the world level. This is coming from rich experience that Karishma has in the space of inner child healing from 12 years. She's written 2 books also. I would also like to encourage you to get her books, a couple of books which are available on her website, Healing Power of Words and Healing Power of Gratitude. 2 books that Karishma has written. This is available on her website and also on Amazon. So do check that out. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you so
Karishma.
much, Shobha. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
It was such a delight talking to you. I have learned so much, and I feel that if we can be in the student mode for our life, there is so much that we can learn from
Absolutely.
people, around
Yes.
us. Thank you for coming
Thank
on the
you. Thank you,
podcast.
Shobha. Namaste.
Thank you for watching today's episode. If you would like us to do another episode on this or deep dive into certain topics and areas of life, do put them down in the comment section. Also, let us know what have you liked and enjoyed from this episode the most and learned the most from. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for supporting the journey within with me, Shobha Rana.